Good morning, students. I am Dr. Suruchi Satsangi, Assistant Professor from IPM College. Now, today's topic is meaning of economy, economic growth, and economic development. Now, what is the meaning of economy? So the term Indian economy is a mixture of two words, that is Indian plus economy. Indian refers to the country India, and economy refers to all those activities, or you can say that arrangements, either individual or collectively, that satisfy their wants of food, clothing, and shelter. Now, the definition of Indian economy is given by A.J. Brown. An economy is a system by which people get living. The way man attempt to get a living different in major respects from time to time and from place to place. So it will be therefore in an appropriate to call that economy as a framework of the those activities which satisfy the human wants. Now the what is the meaning of economic growth? When we are talking about the economic growth, economic growth refers to the long-term increasing in the income or output. Like value of the output or income increase when production of goods and services increases, but their price remains constant. Or when price of goods and services increases, but their production remain constant. So economic growth refers to increase in the value of output of the first type, or we can say that refers to that value which becomes possible as a result of increase in the production of goods and services, while their prices remains constant. So this is we can say that it's a real growth. It implies increase in the flow of goods and services in the economy. If the population of the economy remain constant, real growth means per capita increased availability of goods and services in that country. Now, it's a definition from the other authors. Now we can take the definition of the Peterson. Economic growth involves an increase over time in the per capita actual output of goods and services, as well as an increase in the economic's capability to produce goods and services. Now what are the factors that influence the economic growth? Now, all these are the factors that are responsible to affect the economic growth, like human resource. Now, human resource is a major factor that is responsible for boosting the economic growth of the country, and the rate of increase in the skills or capability of the workforce, or you can say that human, that ultimately increase the economic growth of the country. Like infrastructure development, we have to improve or increase the investment in the physical outputs or a physical capital such as roadways, machineries, and factories, which increase the efficiency of economic output by reducing the cost. Planned utilization of natural resources. Proper use of available natural resources like minerals, or you can say that uh, like deposits, sand, help to boost the productivity of the economy. Economic growth, we have to focus on the population growth also. An increase in the growth of the population will result in the availability of the human resources, which in turn will increase the output in terms of quantity. This is also an important factor that influence the economic growth. Advancement in technology, we Indians should have to focus on the technology also. We have to improve the technology which affect the economic growth of the country. The application of the advanced technology will result in increase the productivity of the labor, and economic growth will advance at the lower cost. Now, what is the meaning of economic development? The economic development is a wider concept. Economic development refers to that process as the result which, along with increase in real per capita income, there is a reduction in inequality, poverty, illiteracy, or a disease. In other words, there is an improvement in economic welfare of the people as well as standard of the living. Right. So economic growth and economic development. Economic growth is a narrow concept, and economic development is a wider concept that we have to focus on the development also of that country. Now, what factors affect the economic development? These all are the factors that also affect the economic development, like infrastructure improvement. We have to focus on the development of the infrastructure, which improve the quality of the life of the people, and therefore we have to increase the rate of the infrastructure development, which also result in the development of the nation. Education. It is the main factor that affect the growth as well as the development. Improvement in literacy as well as technical knowledge, which result in a better understanding of the usage of different equipment. We also have to increase the labor productivity, and in turn will result in the development of the nation. Increase in the capital. We also have to focus on the increment in the capital formation, which result in the more productive outcome of the economy, and with this also affect the economic development. Difference between the economic growth as well as economic development. Now, this is the difference between the economic growth as well as economic development. Like I'm already discussed that economic growth is a narrow concept. It is a narrow economic concept. It focuses on the in real per capita income or increased in the flow of goods and services. Whereas economic development is a broad economic concept. It focuses on the economic welfare and also increase in the real per capita income. Economic growth focused on the quantitative concept, and economic growth is a quantitative concept. It only concerned with the real per capita income as well as the production as well as the rate of increase in the rate of national income. Whereas economic development is that concept which focuses on the quantitative as well as qualitative concept. Quantitative concept and quantitative concept because it also affects the quantity, that is the real per capita income, quality, that increase in the economic welfare. Short period economic growth is focused only on the short period, like 1 or 2 years. It can be reduced due to the cyclical factors, short-term factors, or other factors. Economic development focus on the long period, like development reflects growth over a long period of time, generally more than 5 years. It reflects steady and continuous changes which forever alter and displace the state of equilibrium previously existing. Now, economic growth ignores the distribution of income, right? Distribution of the income, it ignored the in the economic growth. It increase in the income number of people, poor people may rise if distribution of income is unequal. And economic development takes the consideration distribution of income. In case of economic development, distribution of income is kept in view. Inequality of the income distribution must be reduced. Now, in economic growth, center point of progress of developed country, concept of economic growth is generally used to indicate economic progress of developed country, whereas underdeveloped countries, economic development is generally used to indicate the economic progress of underdeveloped countries. In economic growth, focus not focus on the increase in the productivity. It depends it ignores the increase in the productivity. Economic development is essential associated with increase in the productivity so that greater output is realized per capita per unit of input. No change in outlook. Economic growth may occur without any change in outlook of the people towards institution, modernizations, and quality of life. Economic development is associated with the change in outlook of the people. People start appreciating the concept of better quality of life with a smaller size of the family. In economic growth may occur independent of any structured, institutional, or technical change in the economy, whereas economic development is invariably associated with some structural, institutional, or technical changes in the economy. Now, what are the factors that affects the economic growth and as well as economic development? Now, all these are the factors that affect the economic growth and economic development. Now, these factors are divided into two: economic factor and non-economic factor. These all are the economic factors like natural resources, capital formation, technological progress, human resources, population growth, social overheads, organizations, transformation of traditional agriculture, society. And all these are the non-economic factor like political factors, social and psychological factors, education, urbanization, and religious factors. Thank you.